Hello all, let's start right away. So I'm hoping you can see my screen. So welcome to the fourth live session of programming data structures and algorithms using Python. I'm Aditya and this is a live session 4. So let's have a quick recap of week 4. We did two new sorting techniques, merge sort and quick sort, and we saw that and we did their analysis as when will they be fast and what is their general time that they take. Okay, what's the, I mean, in general, how much time they take. And then two new kind of variables are there called tuples and dictionaries. So one of them is mutable, one of them is immutable. You should know which one is which. And then some other types of function definitions are there, and we can call the functions default variables, default values and all. Finally, list comprehension. So it's just a new way to write function inside a function, right? To map functions. So enough of recap. So we'll just solve this first. So I have one function in front of me. Just a minute. I hope I'm audible. Just say yes in the chat if I'm, or just give a thumbs up sign. Okay, thanks. Yeah, so so yes, so we have function 1 in front of us. It's called inside out. Okay, so you'll know why I have called it that. So I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes just to look at the function. Okay, and then I'll share one question in the polls which you can answer. All right. So I have started a timer for 3 minutes. You will not be able to see, but the timer has started. So you can either write this code on your own, or you can just read the code and try to understand what it does. All right. And a chat box is there, so please type out any doubts that you may have. Yeah, Sakshar, please. Sakshar, you had to say something, or was it an accident?
Sir, I was saying that, sir, in the question it is written, sir, answer the question on poll, but sir, there is no poll as of now, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I said read the question and understand it. I had started a timer for 3 minutes. Now only 20 seconds are left. Once it ends,
Okay.
I will write a question. Okay. So that's time's up. Now for the question. The the poll is live now. So look at the question carefully and answer it. Once you're done with this, we'll see what the function does, how it works. Okay. Gaurav, look at the function carefully. The screen is still in the screen is still in front of you. So, yeah. I've got only one answer till now, so I'll wait for a few more minutes. You can either solve it with pen and paper in your head, which will help you understand this better and develop your own algorithms, or One more way is just writing this out and then just running it. So that's also one way. So Vijay, can you see the screen? Vijay M. Badigar. Yes, so slide is. Oh, you want the slides?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been uploading the presentations all together in the drive, where you can also find the links for these videos. I mean, these sessions are being recorded. I'll also start a GitHub repository where I'll also share the codes. Okay, that we'll discuss in the class, in the sessions.
Okay, sir.
I'll close the poll now. I have received some answers, around 5 to 6 answers. 7, 6, 7 answers. Okay. 7, 8. All right. Okay, I'll wait for 1 more minute because in the last few seconds, I got some 3 to 4 answers.
Sir, where can we get your class recording, sir?
Like I said, this whole session gets recorded and gets uploaded to YouTube, my channel. So, and the link will be shared to you. I mean, the NPTEL people will share the link with you. Okay. So, all you have to do is just watch it. I mean, because some people don't stay throughout the class. Some join late, some leave early. So, all those things happen. So just make sure that, I mean, if you want to clarify the doubts, just watch the video and yeah, I mean, I'm sure you watch the lectures on NPTEL, of course. So yeah, so time's up. I have almost 10 votes, 9 votes to be precise. So I'll end the poll. Most of you have got the right answer, that is 4. So let's just quickly check how the code works. All right. So, so we start with the function definition. So name of the function is inside out, and if it takes in a list. If the list is an empty list, I'll just return the list itself and be done. So wherever I write return, my function will terminate there itself. So it will not read further. And then I go to else. So if it is not empty, I'll go to else. So what does this do? These 2 lines. So 2 lines means quotient. You know that already, I hope. So len is to get the length of the list. Quotient. So I'm basically trying to find the midpoint, right? So and I'm using quotient because I don't want some fractional number, because length can't be a fraction. So yeah, so length can't be a fraction. And then next line I have within this else I have one more set of if and else. One, it says that if length is even right? Because when I divide by 2, if I get 0 as a remainder, so if length is even or if length is odd. Okay, so in our case length was even, right, because we had 10 numbers, so length was even in our case, and I'm calling this function inside this function, so there is recursion going on, and this is indexing, right? So mid minus 1 to mid plus 1, so basically mid here is 5, I mean L by 2 is 5, so 5 is actually the 6th position, yes or no? So I am reading, I am returning it from what is that called? I'll return this minus the 2 numbers, and then sorry, so this is basically just one number, so I'll here my first number, so let's start from my, sorry, my list was basically 1, 2, 10, 11, so actual list was this, right? So mid here is what? Position 5. 5 is actually 6, right? Because I start from 0, 5 will mean 6, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So mid minus 1, so 12, right? So 12 will be in the beginning. I'll return, so my new list will become, my first number will be 12, right? And I'll and my last number is 13. So that is what I'm doing here. Sorry, inside out. So I have returned these two numbers. So 12 and 13 have sorry, I have slight fever, so that's why I'm so yeah. So let's just, I'll return this thing. So first element will become 12, okay, and then I'll add the rest of the list. So I'll remove those two elements and I'll return the rest of the list. So this thing, right? So till that one 0, so this line you see, I'll perform the same function. So L till 12, so 1 to 11, right, plus till this, so I'll exclude all these and I'll get my value. Okay, so yeah, that's what is happening. And since it's a recursion call, so there needs to be some limit, right? So when so I keep removing elements and adding it in the beginning, finally I get something like I'll have, this first if case will get satisfied, and then I'll get the I'll exit the function successfully. So let's just write it and see once that how it works. Okay. Just appending it to my last session, I think. So wait, I'll just share this tab. I hope you can see it. So I had def. So I'll say that once, I'll say that 100 times, don't forget this, okay, this colon. So you should be very careful with the syntax. If my list is empty, return else. Even here colon is needed. Okay, I'll just copy the code to save time. Okay, I think I'm not able to paste it. So anyway, so that's our code. Yeah, so one small issue. So I messed up the spelling and yeah, made this mistake again. And yeah, even the indentation is very important. So this else accidentally got in line with that else. So it first needs an if to be to there be an else, right? So this else has to be in line with this if, not this if. So all these small things you just keep in mind, right? And you can count the number of spaces here in Google Colab. So this function is written. So let's just try to run and see one. If you are writing a code and you think there is some error, so best way to debug is to print the output at each step, so you can actually see how the function is progressing or how your output or variable or whatever is changing its value. All right. So what was our input? So k equals inside out and this was it. And I want so let's just see what this is. Print k. So all these small things takes one positional argument, but two are given. So see, this is it's plus actually. I accidentally wrote comma. So it takes only one input, okay, here. But I instead of writing plus, which appends two lists or it joins two lists, I wrote comma. So it makes it two inputs. So yeah, so it has changed here. Okay. So what happened here is 12. It didn't get inside out. So 4 was in fact the wrong. The wrong answer. Many people answered 4, but that was actually the wrong answer. So it is slightly similar to some question you may have seen. Let's see if anything is there in the comments. Wait, Sakshar. Yeah, please, Sakshar. Sakshar. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you were saying
Hello, sir.
something. Yeah, you were saying.
Yes, sir. I was saying that, sir, the answer will be then 12, sir. Because k of 1 is 13 and k of 8 is 1. That means 13 minus 1 equals 12.
Yeah, so how did you get 4?
Sir, I didn't get 4, sir.
Okay. Actually, most of you got 4, so that's why I. So sometimes, see, you should know one thing. Sometimes the options that are there in front of you may not be correct. So that may make you less confident of your own skills. So just keep that in mind. But that's mostly not the case here. Okay, here it was the case. I didn't even give an option as what is that called, 12. Okay, so that is mostly not the case. But yeah, just keep in mind options need not be correct. Okay, so now I just have to do instead of writing this, I'll just write what did I want, k1 minus k.
Sir, please keep that print k as well, sir. That means then, sir, everyone will be able to clarify.
Sure. So one more thing
Yes,
to
sir.
note here is one more thing to note here is again, I mean, now it's been 4 weeks, so you definitely know this. 1 means 2, right? Because it starts from 0, so 1 means 2, and 8 means 9, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whatever we see at the 9th position is k8, and whatever we see at the first position, sorry, at the second position has index of 1. So what is it exactly doing? The two middle elements, it is sending them to the front. All right, it is sending them to the front, and then it is doing the same thing with the rest of the list. So first I'll so first 12, 13 went to the front, then 11 and 7 joined, 10 and 8 also joined, 2 and 9 joined, then finally 1 and 14 joined. Okay, so
That means, sir, basically the middle elements are getting sort, means accumulating the new array, sir.
yeah, so yes, exactly that is what is happening. All right, so okay, so I'll stop sharing this. I hope it was clear to you all. Zoom in. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? No doubts, right? Sir, I can't quietly get the code. Please repeat. Please explain recursive statement. Yeah, sure. I'll just explain the recursive part here. So, I hope you all know what recursion does. So, recursion will call the function by itself. Okay. So, if here I'm calling the function. See, first of all, I'm not calling the whole list again. Sorry, I'm not inputting the whole list again. So these two have been removed here. Not removed. I mean, yeah. In this input, they have been removed. So my list is now shorter. I need to keep doing that till I hit this, right? Till I get a zero list. I mean, not zero list, empty list. So that is what it means. So I'll keep calling it till I reach some. I'll keep shortening it, and I'll keep calling it till I get to a point where I don't have to call it. I mean, I don't need to call it because when this if gets satisfied, there is no else. If it's true, then yeah, I mean, we are done here. So recursive part, as you can see, this colon first of all means all. Okay, so here colon mid minus 1 means all the elements before mid minus 1. So mid, so what is mid here? Mid is length by 2, 5 means 6, sixth element. So till mid minus 1 means it will not reach that, right? In Python, whatever upper limit of the range that you give, we don't go till there. So it is actually taking from 0 to mid minus 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 10, 11, that's all. Mid minus 1 was 12, so it will only go to 11, 1, 2, 10, 11, plus, so mid plus 1, mid was 13, so from 7 to upper bound, okay, to all. Colon means whatever is there. So if I don't write this, if I just write the colon, it means that the whole list, okay. Just keep that in mind. So the next input to this function is now 1, 2, 10, 11, 7, 8, 9, 14. So when that happens, so yeah, so just a minute, I will, yeah, correct. So in that, the new midpoint, so now the length has also been changed. Okay, so now the length that was 10, now it is 8. So the new mid values are 11 and 7. They will also get up, so they will get appended to this list, this k, right? So k is now basically k at the first pass. Okay, there is no pass here because I can return only once in this big function, right? So that is what is basically happening. So first time when it runs, it says the first two elements are the two mid elements, 12 and 13, and the rest of the thing, it is still waiting for the output. So once that happens, two more get added. So 11 and 7 will get added. So it's still waiting for the output. At no point it is only 12 and 13. Okay, so you can't write print in between to see how the progression is going on. All right. So I hope it was somewhat clear. Putting print statement. Yeah. So that is what. Printing here you can try once. If it works, great. But you try and actually what you try and tell me if print works. Okay. So let's just yeah. So function 1 is done. So yeah, we discussed what the function does. So now let's go for the one of the main things you have to do. So write a program or a function to replace a Python sublist with its elements. So as you know, a Python can have lists inside. Okay, sorry. My bad. A list can have lists inside it. Okay, so like you can see, this list starts with 8, 3. Then there is one more list of just a single element, and 4. Then one more list has started with 4. So these are called sublists, and 9, 0 is a sublist. Okay, what I want to do is I want to I want to extract all the elements and I just want one single list, okay, with all these numbers. And yeah, here just assume that the input is just integers. I mean, but of course you can have an if statement saying that if actually it doesn't need to be in integers, right? Because it can it's also if a string is inside a list or a sublist, that will also get printed. So yeah, so it doesn't have to be integers. So example here, like you can see 835490, that's what I want as my output. I want to extract them from the sublist. So first remove them, extract just the numbers and add them back to my main list, or instead of adding them back to the main list, I'll create a new list, and in that these will get added. So one more example is here. So 54, so remember, square brackets means list, round brackets means tuples, not these round brackets. These round brackets are there in the function calling these round brackets, tuples. So 456 is a tuple, it's not a list, okay, so it is not a sub list, so it stays as it is, okay. So it is one list element that is not a list. So whenever I hit a list, I will extract it. I mean, I'll take it out of the list and I'll add it to the main list. Okay. So 456 is a tuple. So I cannot. I mean, so it stays like that. Okay. That is, it should not affect tuples. Or if I have something else, etc. etc. It should not affect that. So just keep that in mind. I'll yeah. Any doubts with the thing? Like what you have to do. So I'll give you. I'll give you, since I've explained it, I'll give you just 1 minute to read this, or I mean it will be on the. It will be visible. So don't worry. But I'll still give you 1 minute. Then I'll start the timer for 10 minutes. Okay. In the meanwhile, you can ask me if you have any doubts regarding this. So yeah, one thing, one not hint, one tip. Okay, yeah, actually call it a hint. I want to give you is you might have to define one more function in the beginning, which checks if the type is a list or not. Where is extend function behave like append? Where are you looking at extend? So we'll come to what is extend and what is append, okay. Like you said, we need extend here, we need to incorporate extend here. So when we write the code, I'll explain what is extend. Can we use built-in list functions? Yeah, you can use whatever you want, it's up to you. So like I said, you might have to write one more, you might have to define one more function that checks that if the list type, if the value type is a list or not, okay, and then you will have to call that and just go on. So I'll start the timer for 10 minutes.
Sir, um, sir, you said recording class links will be shared, but we didn't receive any mail regarding the link, and I don't know about the YouTube channel.
Are you registered to the course uh, on
Yes, sir.
NPTEL?
Sir. NPTEL. NPTEL.
See, the thing is, my job is to send it to them, and it is their job to send it to you. So, what happens there is a black box. Okay, so I can't really control that. But
Okay,
uh,
sir. But what is your YouTube channel, sir? I think I can get from there.
so yeah, so one thing is, if you visit my currently the videos are not public, so whoever has the link only they can view it. I will actually tonight I will change it to public so that whoever wants to view can view it. So my YouTube channel link, just a minute, uh, I'll just find it out. And I mean, I don't remember the name. I mean, I know the name, but give me a minute. Or one of you can actually share the channel link or a previous video link so that in the chat. Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, one of the participants, if they can do it, then you will have the access.
Sir, as the marks of the assignments are going to affect the final marks for the examination.
See, I don't really know about this, so you should ask it. So I hope you're aware of the forum. NPTEL, I mean, for this course. So if you come across any doubts or so many things, you can always post it in the forum. So it's up to you. And this is not related to the class, so you should. I mean, yeah,
Sorry, sir.
yeah, okay.
Sir, Can you repeat the question, sir? Here the task. Can you explain the task, sir? Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Actually, I have joined lately 10 minutes, but here I have seen the inside of program, sir. But here, how many lists are existing? I am having a doubt, sir. Uh, a, the list is starting with 8 3, and inside there another list. Is it, sir? 4 is another list.
No, see, whatever input I give, that depends on me. So this is just an example that you see. Just a minute. Yeah. So this is just an example here. Okay. This 835. So I can have something like let's say I can have something like this. Right. So I have one more sub list here. So whatever input I give, so to view it, I basically want to remove all these square brackets from inside, and I just want the numbers. Okay, just
Okay, sir.
think
Okay,
of
sir.
it like that. So yeah, so it's extracting the numbers from sub lists and getting a list with just numbers. I mean not numbers, getting a list without any sublist. So that is why I mentioned I can have a tuple inside, and that will go unharmed, I mean untouched. Okay, because it is not a list. When I encounter a list inside a list, I will extract it. I will break it. That's all. Okay.
I will try, sir.
Yeah, there is a 1 minute left. So I think for your sake, I'll give you 1 more minute. But since rest of the participants are also waiting, I can't extend the time any. And see, a few have done already, so that's why. So you try, and I will write the code now for you to see. So, and I'll also explain that line by line. Don't worry. Okay. Time is up. Let's get back to the thing. Okay. So I want my wait. Sorry, I'll stop sharing this, and I'll share my. Yeah, I hope you can see the screen. So So what was my name of the function? I'll just have to check that. Sub ext. Okay. So yeah, but first I will, like I said, like I mentioned, I need to write one more function to check if it is a list or not. I mean, yeah, you can use the inbuilt type checker, or I mean, right. So I'll just write list type to just see if it is a list or not. Of course. Okay. So L is the input. So okay, sorry. Yeah, right. So this means I mean I'll explain what it means. So type L. So I'm taking the input. I'm checking the type. This block means list. Okay, and I have to enclose it in these braces. Equivalence is there. That means it will give me a Boolean output, true or false. So if it is list, true. If it is not a list, then false. Of course, easy. Okay. So let's write the main code now. Input is of course a list, so I'll just keep L for continuity purpose. So here you might ask, why have I given two spaces? That was by default. I can also remove one space. Okay, I need to have at least one space. So here I have one space. Okay, at least one space. Keep that in mind. When space means it says that it is inside that. So if it is a loop, if it is a for loop or while loop, if in the next line I give space, that means whatever is indented towards the right, it is inside that. Okay, so this means it is inside def. Since this indentation is very important in Python, I am telling you that again and again. Okay. This, so I'm checking if any if it is a list by itself. Okay, I mean inside that I'm checking if any list is there. If it is not a list, I'll just return it as it is, because if it is a list, I have to break it. That's all. Okay, so so now I'll I'll just new list, define a new list saying it is an empty list. Okay, this new list is where I'll store the extracted values. So for I can write in two ways. I can either write for e in range len L, that means I'm increasing the index one by one. So E is just 0, 1, 2, 3 to n to length n minus 1. Okay, but if I write in L, just in L here, so that means I am traversing the list. So E is not 1 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if my list is here 12, 13, 11, blah blah blah, then I'm traversing like this. So E is starting with 12, then it goes to 13, then 11, then 7, like that. So it is one convenient way to use for lists. Okay, so now I will new list. So now let us use this thing called extend. So we'll talk about the difference between append and extend. Just a minute. Yeah. So what is happening in the code now? So I have this new list I have initialized so that I can add the, I can add the new elements. So append means I am adding one element to the list, and extending means I am extending the list by a list. Okay. So if I want to just add one element, I'll use append. If I want to extend so the like the name suggests, so if I want to extend the list, so I have 12 13 14 blah 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 here. I want to add 11 15 16, like three elements at once. So I'll make a list and I'll extend the list. Okay. So to add more than one elements at once, or to add a new list, I'll use extend. So what is happening in the code here? If it is not list type, okay, if it is not list, we will not do anything, we don't have to break it. Okay. But if it is, if this if is not satisfied, we'll create an empty list, then we'll traverse our old list. Okay. So whenever we find a list, okay, so whenever we hit a list, we'll extract just the element. Okay, so we'll extract the element and extend our list. So if I hit something like okay, I'll actually run this with the new some input that will help you understand this better. All right. So I have this list that is I think all the brackets are, so one more good thing here is you can see that all the brackets are color coded, so you can see which is which belongs to what. So this green one will close the green one, brown will close brown, brown will close brown, and blue will close blue. So let's see. Oh my god.
You missed one at the top as well, well defined.
Yeah, I understand. Trace back if list type L. Okay. Oh, I missed a space here. Oh, I didn't miss a space. Then what did I miss? No, sorry. No
The
need.
name of list type.
Oh, the name is correct. So where else would I have made a mistake? Tell me.
Sir, you haven't given the colon, sir.
Colon is there. Name error is there, right? So name error. Calling it. Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't run this. I have to run that first. Then only I can. Yeah. Sorry. So keep in mind, if you are I can actually define this within this itself. So see, now that list type is not there, I got one curly line here. Okay, sorry. So I clicked something wrongly. Okay, so I can define this here itself in one block itself, so that you don't have to run it again and again, right? But make sure if you're calling a function, you need to define it before you call it. Okay. Yeah, so I can do this. Oh God. Yeah, now I'll run this. I got my output. Okay, so let's try and change it a little. See if it works. Same output. Okay, so yeah, so you might have a doubt in the recursion part again, because I'm calling this once more. So what is happening here? I'll keep breaking the list till I satisfy this. Okay, so I have entered the list, 1 is fine. So I have encountered this bracket. Okay, so I have broken this bracket here, and I have called this again. So now this bracket is not there, so 2 will come here, so 2 will get added. Then when I'm checking this one, 2 comma list 3, I have encountered it again. So using this, I have broken that once more, because I have gone inside the list. Okay, and I have extracted 3. Then now it is finished. Okay, now I have encountered one more. So now I have entered this list, right? So I mean, it's more or less. Wait. So you all got what I did?
Sir, a little bit confusion, sir. Sir, first,
Yeah, please go on.
sir, type of L means now, what will be the type L value, sir?
So type means variable type, either int, float, string, list, whatever. So instead of explicitly writing list here, I have written this, I have made this square bracket. So it says whenever I encounter this bracket, or which is nothing but a sublist, so whenever type of my list element, okay, I mean, sorry, whenever the type, if the type of whatever is the input here.
Element, sir, element.
Yeah. So wait, so I'll go back here. So I have, yeah, if it is a list, that means it is true. Okay, so here here I've mentioned if not means I don't want it to be true. So if it is not the list, if it is not a list, then give whatever answer is there. Okay, so I go with 1. 1 is not a list, right? 1
Yes,
is
sir.
just an element. So 1 is now here. 2 is a list. That means if is not satisfied, I'll go back here. I'll create one empty list,
Yes,
and
sir.
I'll scan that list. Okay, so 2 and 3 I'm scanning, 2 and list 3 I'm scanning. So I've extracted 2 and list 3. I've added 2 here. Then I go to the next place. So E is basically now 2 and list 3. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I have extracted 2 here. Then I check this again with sub xt. With sub x, I'll check 3 now. Okay. Since it's not a since it is a list, I'll break that as well. Extract 3, then go to my next element. Okay. So you somewhat understood this?
Okay, so first now here, new list is an empty list and an element 2 is there. First that will be added. Is it, sir?
Yeah.
And
So
then the next one is the list, another list, then what will happen here? Sub extension will be repeated.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. But
Sub
recursive
extraction. Yeah,
program,
yeah.
some
It's anyway,
any
anyway.
debugging mode is there, then it is very easy to understand. So guessing is somewhat looks difficult.
Debugging, you can actually, like I said, you can use print command in between. That will actually help you debug the code. So, Anos raised the hand. Yeah, please. Okay, he lowered the hand. Very well.
Sir, how, why we use extend here? Why don't we use append instead
Okay,
of append?
okay. Let's try using append then. Okay, let's see if it works. So, see, append, you can see what has happened here. Append will consider that list itself. Okay. Extend will only consider the elements of the list. So that is why we are using extend and not append. I will change it back to extend. So you can see what has happened now, right? So everything has now become a list and has been added to it. So I instead of extracting from the list, or it is also called flattening out a list, I am making more and more lists here. So I don't want that to happen, right? So that is why I use extend and not append. Append will faithfully just whatever I give it will just join it. Extend will only take the numbers inside. Okay, yeah, but of the first list, if inside that list one more list is there, then I mean it will run that once more. Okay, so if this finds a list. Yes, Gaurav. Yes, Gaurav. More or less, that's what it does. More or less. So the main funda behind recursion is I'll keep calling the function. So I will keep calling it. I'll keep breaking it down, or I'll keep decreasing or increasing the value. I mean, I want to make it as I am going towards the condition where I don't call it again. That is what is happening. Okay, so that is the main idea behind it's a very crude way to explain, so please excuse me for that. So this code is, I hope this is clear, because let's go to the next task. Okay. Yeah, so this was more or less, yeah. Okay, so now one more quick, or do you guys want to, wait just a minute. Do you guys want a break or something, or can we just continue? Break of 5 minutes, or I mean, because you've been here for more than an hour. Just put a thumbs up if you think that. Continue. Okay, great. Okay, so some people want a break, some people are saying continue. So 5 minutes break. Okay, so yeah, so you can also, I suggest that you take this break and walk for 100 meters or 20 meters or whatever, and see something which is far away. Okay, so it's just basic tips I'm giving. So if you stare at the screen for very long, then it's bad for your eyes, it's bad for your posture and all. So look at something far, at least 25 centimeters away, sorry, 20 meters away, and try to go for a small walk for like a minute or so. Just stretch. Okay. So I'll give you a break for 5 minutes. I'll start the, since I've talked for 1 minute, so yeah, okay, fine. 5 minutes break. We'll meet at 20. Okay. We'll meet at 7:20. Let's get back to the class. I see that a few people have left. Okay, anyway. Uh, yeah, I hope the screen is visible. So I have defined a dictionary which says quizzes and exams. Okay, quizzes and exams, and within the dictionaries I have temporarily mute this site. Okay, so within the dictionaries I have more dictionaries. So one is saying Mahesh has scored this much, Suresh has scored so much, Uma has scored so much, then Mahesh has scored that much, etc. etc. Okay, so now you have to tell me which statement or statements. Okay, so which of these are valid statements? Okay, so just type it in the chat, or actually I'll do one thing. I'll start a poll, and you should. So, but with poll the problem is you can only get one answer. Anyway, I started the poll, so please answer in the poll. Yeah. I mean, if you think more than one answer is possible, then please write in the chat. Else, poll itself is enough.
Sir, here the E is capital.
Oh, I apologize for that. All right. Okay. So quite sharp. So most of you are saying so one way to do this is just go to any Python interpreter, write this, try writing all these. Wherever it says OK, it will say fine. Wherever it says error, that is where I mean that is not the answer. So so if it runs, it's okay, right? That's what. So if it runs, it means it's valid. So just that is one way to do that, or just use the what is it called? Just know what a dictionary is, right? Properties of dictionaries. So if you know them well, then you can easily identify which is wrong, which is right. Okay, so so I think enough people have voted. Yeah, okay. So I'll end the poll in order to, I mean, yeah. So only one right answer is there, that is C, and most of you have voted C. B is, so I can add to one to the dictionary here. Okay, wait, I'll, yeah. So marks exams, so I can't append 44 here to because Suresh is not part of this. Okay, I mean it is part of this, but I can't append to it because this doesn't exist. But I can say that this exists and its value is 44. So since it doesn't exist, I can't use this, and I also can't use extend here. So only thing valid is to define it. So here I am defining it and assigning the value 44. So now my new one has, so my updated marks, so my updated marks dictionary will become, I'll just add one more thing here, say comma, sorry, yeah, Suresh 44. Okay, so updated one is this. So I'll just write this in. Okay. So see, because it's not part. Okay, in exams, Suresh does not exist. So that is why I can't append something to which that does not. If I write something like this, if I had something like this, that means I can append 44 to it and get the answer. But since I don't have that, I can't do this. And since it's not there, I can't also call saying that 0th element of this is that. I can directly assign it like this, and of course, since I can't append, I can't also extend. Okay, so any sorry.
Instead of Suresh, if Mahesh is there, we can append, sir. 44.
Yeah, yeah. So, but then, yeah, of course, of course. So, if more than one exam is there, so it will basically become 37, 44. Okay. So, but one thing is try it out. Okay. So, try it out yourselves. The best way to learn Python is to do it yourself. I mean, if you have any doubt, just write it in code and see if you feel it is right or wrong. You don't think, just write it and check, and then debug it. And also, since Python is one of the currently, since so many people use it, there are also not just NPTEL forum. If you just search things or Stack Overflow, GitHub and all, you can search and get answers and perspectives from many other people in the whole world. Okay, this you just keep in mind. So
So,
yeah.
sir, in option B, if we do think that Suresh was there in exams, then would it add 44 to the end of the list, like it says 0 colon nothing? So it basically means that it adds it to the end of the list, right?
Yeah, it says at the end the last element is 44.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I mean, it actually means that the whole list is only 44, not just the last element. The whole list itself is 44, because it is 0 colon, right? So from start to end. That's what. So you may think that if I'm defining from start to end, I can still use this, but no, it is also not valid. Okay. So Anos, your doubt? Do you have a doubt, Anos?
Sir, is it the rule for the dictionary to have the key and only list combination, not with the tuple, sir? Here we are changing the values, na sir, in the dictionary.
So when we started with dictionaries, it first they mentioned that in a list index can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to change those indexes, to change those indices, we have dictionaries, right? So so instead of using 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, we can use something like here we have quizzes, exams, and I think in the video, I think cricket players were mentioned. So keys can be tuple. I mean, of course. So these keys can, these dictionaries can also be used for tuples. Okay, not just lists, but yeah, of course, you should keep in mind that the key should be immutable, etc., etc. So,
Sir, like I have to add the another data type like tuple, set, and etc. in the list. Sorry, in the key of the values of the Suresh, by the help of extend. How I can do that?
so if you want to use extend, you have to predefine this. You have to predefine this using, I mean, oh yeah. So you can see that here itself. You can see the Just 1 minute, Anos. Here itself you can see the difference between append and extend. So append I have only written 44, whereas in extend I have written 44 as a list. Both will, I mean, if it were valid, both will give only 44. Okay, if I in append, if I write 44 like this, it will create a sublist and then add that to the list. Okay, and here if I don't have anything, here if I don't have anything, it will not be valid. I mean, it needs to be a list. Okay, so to extend a list I need a list, and I can have one more here. So that means it creates a sublist, easy, that's all. So to use extend or append, I have to predefine the list here. So let's say I just did Suresh is an empty list, so I'll append 44 to it, or I'll extend it by this list 44. So it's up to me. So I have to predefine this here, Suresh. So but since it is not predefined, I can't do it. I have to use this. I have to define it here, saying this. So see this index, append, extend, all, for that the list has to be defined. The list itself is not there here. That's why we have to we are doing this. Okay. So to define or initialize the value, I am doing this. So I hope that is clear, and we'll move on to the next task, the last task of the day, that is task 2. So it's also a function writing task. So I'll this sentence or statement may not be very clear, but I'll still read it, then I'll also explain it. So write a Python function to read a list of integers, identify the ones with minimum and maximum occurrences. Okay, so and output them in a sorted fashion. Okay, minimum and maximum occurrences. So I'll scan. So with this example, I'll explain this better. So I have scanned this list. I found 7. I found only one 7. All other numbers are present more than once. So see, 13 is there many times, 4 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 12 is there twice. 11 is there twice. 14 is there also twice or thrice. I don't know. Okay. Only 7 is there only once, and 1 is the lowest number here. So 7. And then I go to find. Then I want the maximum, the number which has the maximum occurrence. So here 13 is there 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So no other number in this list is there 4 times. So that is why I'll output 7 and 13. So now you see something like sorted fashion. Okay, so if it were more, so if I had 7 and let's say I had 8 here, so both 7 and 8 are there only once. So since so both 7 and 8 will take this, will fill this list with the minimum occurrence. So I have 8 and 7 here. Okay, so first I saw 8, so 8, then 7, but I said sorted fashion. So I need my output to be like this. So the same thing you can see here, 8, 11 and 12 are there twice. No number in this is there only once. 8, 11 and 12 are there twice. Okay, 1, 8, 2, 8, 1, 11, 2, 11. I mean first 11, second 11, first 12, second 12. Okay, so the order that you see here, it matters of course because you will be inputting it like this. So the final list that you get, you have to sort it and then output it. Okay, and maximum, so 13, 14, 1, 2, 3. So 13 and 14 are there thrice. So there is no no number is there 4 times, but 13, 14 both are there thrice. So they will take up the position of maximum occurrence and they will make that list. So 13 and 14 will be in that list. Okay, any doubts regarding what you have to do in this? Because I'll give you 15, it's a relatively long code. So actually, yeah, I'll make it 12 minutes in order to, yeah. Any doubts here?
Sir, whether we have tried the recursive function, sir?
You can try it without recursion, it's up to you. Okay, for just for that, the function I'm going to write will not have recursion, okay. You can also do it, you can do it with recursion as well, but the one I'll show, it will not have recursion. Fine. So, recursion, see, sometimes it makes it more effective and efficient, sometimes it doesn't. So it's up to you to choose. Yeah, but if you know how to write one function using recursion, then it is quite good, because some need recursion, like we saw merge sort, okay, not like we saw quick sort and all. It is inherently recursive, so you need to know how it works, okay. So I'll since it is in front of you, I'll start the timer for 12 minutes. So at 7:50 we'll
Sir, it is saying the dictionary is not sortable. What is the function, sir? Sorted dictionary. Okay, sir. Means once keys are they sorted, automatically the data will be coming in as usual. Is it okay, sir? Sir, for a little short time, I will share my code with the dictionary, sir. I am not asking the complete whether we can do like that or not. Okay, 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 okay. I will try, sir. No problem. So,